Hi everyone, it's Unseen Uchiha and SixMysta Jonathan. Thank you
Yo.
for coming back to another video, and I'm super sorry for the absence. I've just been super busy with life, but let's get into the video. Six, do you want to kind of give a little explanation of what we're doing today?
So today we're giving our own general summary of more or less a top 10 animated shows, give or take. Obviously, this isn't like a finite list of the best 10 animated shows, but 10 that we really like and would like to rank between S and D rank today. Uh, are any of them going to make it into D rank? Probably not, but
No,
we
probably not. We're all
we
top tier
we
so
just
far.
want to, give a fair ranking in terms of how good these series are, give you an idea of what series you might want to watch when you have a little bit of free time. So, without further ado, get buckled in and let's get this video started.
Yep. So our first one is Max Steel, which is an animated show about a teen boy who has the ability to produce what's called known as turbo energy. If he produces too much, he'll explode. So he ultralinks with this robotic alien, pretty much is the best way to put it, an ultralink, to help maintain his turbo energy, but also gives him certain abilities like flight, super strength, speed, fun abilities like this.
He turns into Iron Man, but with extra steps. He has a suit for every occasion. And overall, this series was actually great. Its later seasons weren't portrayed as well as its early seasons, but
Yeah,
overall, the show was a fun watch all the way through. And we don't talk about the live action.
we never talk about the live action though.
And
My
we never
opinion, if
will.
it starts off animated, it needs to stay animated. That's all I'm saying.
Except for One Piece. That live action turned out amazing.
I I have yet to watch that to be honest here.
My man is throwing. Get in the
Yeah.
comments, tell him to get cultured.
Do it. Let's hear it. I'm curious to see who thinks I'm not cultured.
So,
So where do you think we should place this six?
if we were going off of just like the first season, it would have been a no brain A or S tier.
Yeah.
But those last
We get
seasons really drag it down, man.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Like, I feel like with every season included, Max Steel is like a very middle of the pack animated show. It's good, it's not great. It's good, it's not bad.
Yeah. So I'd be comfortable with putting it in either C to low B,
I'd put
honestly.
it in
Either
B.
or.
I'm completely fine with B for Max Steel just because of how like phenomenal that first season was
Yeah.
and how good the overall plot flows back into itself.
Yeah.
Next up is Generator Rex. This show is one of your average monsters start invading the planet type shows, and the government creates a secret weapon, this time in the form of a boy named Rex, who has the ability to collect nanites in the air, which are the same material that makes up these monsters, to alter his body in all sorts of ways, creating giant arms for enhanced strength, wings to act as a wind glider, or even sometimes an all out railgun. Now, Rex's job is practically to stop these monsters, and throughout the span of the show, we see on and off him going through all sorts of progressions, fighting more and more powerful weapons, and inevitably meeting another person, a brother, you could say, who went through the same, if not only similar, experiments, but turned out a lot worse, ending in
Yeah.
the main villain of the show being someone with more or less the same abilities as him.
Honestly, I generally thought this show was really good, man. I'm rewatching it right now. It's in the last like day or two. Um, I wouldn't say it's outright S tier. I'd say it's definitely good A. I mean, but if we do include, I believe it's a movie with
Oh,
Generator Rex
the
and
crossover movie between it and Ben 10 was phenomenal. Okay,
oh, absolutely.
nobody get at my ass for saying this, but that movie was better than the entirety of the Generator Rex show.
I no, I hands down agree. The fucking collab between those two is an amazing combo. I'm gonna be honest here.
I kind of wish we got to see an extended show of this. We kind of get a comic that was made by some fans. I think it's called something like 5 years later. Uh, but instead of it being Generator Rex and Ben 10, I believe it's Ben 10 and Danny Phantom. And it's amazing, man.
I'll have to check that out then. That sounds interesting.
But yeah, this
It's
show overall, I don't want to give it S rank just because that would be a reluctant S rank. It's like this
yeah,
isn't the absolute peak of animated
it
shows,
definitely is not. No,
but it is great, man. It is up there with the goats, with Ben 10, with Pokemon. It
yeah.
is genuinely a writer.
A lot of these shows that we're suggesting to you are stuff we watched when we were growing up as well. So this is stuff that kind of like hits home for us as well. So good, we have a little bias, but we're trying to stay neutral with it.
Like we did with Max Steel. I would put Generator Rex in a comfortable A tier.
I would agree with that. A tier is definitely a good placement for it.
Next
So
up
our
is
next
Slugterra.
Slugterra. Ah, yes. So what's the best way to explain this? Um,
Pokemon with guns.
yeah, pretty much Pokemon with guns. Um,
It's the original
so
Pal World.
the original Power. Better than Power Up. I'm sorry.
Except
Um,
the follow-up series. I'm gonna be honest, the new stuff don't hit as hard as the OG stuff.
it normally doesn't though. Let's be fair here, because they usually don't have a lot of the same animators or story writers. So
I don't know what you're talking about. Legends of Korra was superior to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
no, no, it was not. I'm sorry to all you fucking you fucking basement gremlin ass people that sit
Delusional.
in the comment section.
But yeah, Slugterra follows the life of a boy named Eli Shane, who goes down into a secret bunker below his base, which his father told him to go down to when he turned 18. His father had been gone for a number of years this time, but as he goes down, he discovers a little slug like creature named Burpee, who was his father's slug. And the two of them together venture down into the hollow earth world of Slugterra, where people of different non-human species exist, slinging slugs out of guns as they transform into these giant monsters. And he not only has to save the world of Slugterra from this individual who wishes to corrupt all slugs and rule over
Yes.
this world with an iron fist, but also find his missing dad who once had the same mission but failed.
Not to mention also pretty much saving the overworld. I guess is the best way to put it. Part of his job is to ensure that people from Slugterra or whatever the world part is prevent them from getting up there to the up top. 'Cause that'd be a very bad thing to happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
and for the most part, the show does exactly that with three complete cinematically masterpieceful seasons of Eli going through all these events and eventually defeating the big bad, finding a cure for this corruption, and even once again finding his dad, with an inevitable sequel series that came out rather recently after years of hiatus. Now,
yes.
when the initial series came out, it was refreshing, it was new, it was unique. There was nothing really like it. A unique spin on Pokemon we haven't really seen since Digimon, really. And it did that really well. Everything from character building to action sequences to story. It was good from start to finish.
All right, let's get into the placement of this. I love the show, but I just don't think we could put in an S rank, honestly.
Same, in all honesty. If anything of this genre was to make it into the S rank, it would be Pokemon.
Yeah.
So,
I'd
A tier?
be I'd be happy with I'd be completely happy with putting in like a high A tier. It's
Above
definitely
or
a good placement.
below Generator X?
I'm gonna have to say I'd have to go above. Even though that collab movie was peak, I don't know, man. This
Slugterra
OG
above
Slug.
Generator Rex. Get in the comments!
Get in the comments if you guys are old enough to have watched these shows.
Next up is Monsuno.
Ah, yes, Monsuno. What's the? I guess the best way to explain this, it's a combination of what like Pokemon and fucking
Bakugan.
Bakugan.
Yeah. So Monsuno follows the story or the upbringing of a young man named Chase Suno. He discovers this core tech, quote unquote, capsule that contains something called the Monsuno. The one he discovers is a large polar bear named Locke, and we go through the story as he fights off against other Monsuno holders, find Monsuno for his friends, with an attempt to collect all the Monsuno capsules or core tech capsules they can, since it turns out his father, just like many others, was the one to create core tech. And not only is there many allies turned villains in this show, since they thought if they could help Chase and eventually betray him to lure out his father, they can continue their creation of these monsters, which are genetically re engineered animals with super capability. For example, Block is practically Godzilla.
Yes. Or let's just throw shooting out ice beams and bullshit like that.
Now, Monsuno was a
Ah,
great show. I really like
oh,
Monsuno, but
yeah.
it had a lot of big
It had
flaws.
it had some plot holes in it as well, which is not
Like,
a
plot holes are to be expected when it comes to cartoons, but one
yeah.
thing I think is just unforgivable is every like half season we'd meet a character who's an ally to Chase for a while, and then they betray him to try and lure out his dad. Every single time without fail. That happened a minimum of 5 times.
Yep.
So even though the action sequence, the Monsuno themselves, all that was really cool, I cannot in good faith give this anything
I'd
higher
have
than
to
a B
agree.
rank. Like it
I
had
know I
its
would
flaws.
completely agree. If we could see like a remake of it and they like fix a lot of these like plot holes and stuff, I'd say we could push it up to an A. I just don't think it'd end up an S.
I'm going to go outright and say this just because of the plot holes. I think it would go below Max Steel.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Next up is
Is
Them
an OG.
Who Wants to Be the Very Best, like no one ever was.
We got the OG Pokemon, everybody.
Well, saying OG is quite harsh since Pokemon, or at least the original canon of Pokemon, did not end until very recently in Pokemon Journeys when Ash finally became the champion. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone here knows what Pokemon is, so an introduction is not completely necessary. But to
And
those
if you
who
don't,
don't, go watch it, because we're not explaining it. This
or go
show
get
has
Redstone in the
30
comments
years of
section.
history behind it. It's larger than One Piece.
It's older than me.
It is
The
old. And
but good
let's
show.
be honest, Pokemon is all of our childhoods. Incredible show.
Absolutely, it is.
Characters are phenomenally written. They don't have a major plot hole like a lot of other shows, like even Slugterra. Like each time Ash goes to a new region, it's not just the Pokemon in this region are just so much stronger than his that he needs to get new, stronger Pokemon. No, he resets kind of. The only Pokemon he takes along his journey indefinitely into a new series is Pikachu,
Too.
and he would then start off like the normal trainer, getting a starter Pokemon from the region, and then catch more Pokemon as the region continues. And overall, everything from his battles in tournaments to the fact that he actually loses and isn't one of those characters that wins every match. And in
They got
fact,
that
it
plot
took him
armor.
until Generation 7, Pokemon Sun and Moon, to even win his first championship. So, overall, I think this show really hits the sweet spot in everything you don't want to see in a long show.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, if we're going off placement alone, it's S tier.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not going to
it's
change.
S tier without hesitation.
I want to hear. I want to hear this from you, 62. But everyone in the comments, let me know what your favorite starter Pokemon is.
My favorite starter Pokemon is Poplio.
I like Oshawa, but that's also because I played a lot of Black and White. So
Makes sense. Fun fact, Black and White was the first Pokemon game I ever played. More specifically, I played Pokemon Black.
yeah, it was actually my first Pokemon game too, which is funny. I played White.
My second game was
Any
Radical Red. So,
yeah.
moving on to arguably the greatest animated show of all time, Avatar The Last Airbender.
Absolutely.
Now,
And
Avatar
let's
The
be honest,
Last Airbender follows a young man or air nomad known as Aang, who is being known as the Avatar. The Avatar is the only person in the world who can wield all four elements of wind, or air, fire, water, and earth. Aang, though, was the Avatar of 100 years ago and was training at the Air Temple and inevitably even became an airbending master. Until, as the show's intro said, the Fire Nation attacked. Aang would flee on the back of his flying bison Appa and eventually get stuck in a storm, which would then lead to both him and Appa being frozen in ice for 100 years, only to be discovered by Sokka and his sister Katara. That kicks off Aang's journey to bring balance to the world, learning the remaining three elements and inevitably defeating the tyrannical overlord of the Fire Nation, Fire Lord Ozai.
it's just a peak show. Honestly, I'd say it's definitely S tier. The only thing in my main brain that would maybe drop it would be the live action. That's the only thing that would possibly knock
No,
it
you're
for
thinking
me.
about the live action movie. The live action show was, it was okay. It
No,
wasn't
no,
good. It wasn't
I'm
bad.
talking
It was there.
I'm talking about both the movie and the live action show.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
can't say the show brings it down. The show did nothing wrong. It did nothing bad, but it didn't do anything good either. In all honesty, it
Yeah.
is the best adaptation we could have asked for because some of the concepts and visuals in the Avatar series and even like some of the character interactions were really not okay, and they tried fixing upon it, but that's at the end of the day what a lot of people liked in the characters. For example, Sokka being rewritten a bit. And I'm gonna stick with it. I say that the live action show wasn't too bad, and to someone who doesn't watch animated shows, I think they would really enjoy the live action. But
Yeah.
we're not talking about the live action today. We are talking exclusively about the original animated show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. And that show is the greatest animated show I've ever seen.
I will
Everything
completely agree.
from character progression to story to combat, like seeing all these characters mature and coming into themselves was really something to behold and has stuck with me since I watched it growing up. It really, I wish I could say it formed me into the man I am today, but somewhere in my mind I think Uncle Iroh would be very disappointed in who I've become.
I would have to agree with you on that, especially for me. Unglaria would be very disappointed in a lot of us.
Now, personally, I have no hesitation saying this is better than Pokemon.
I'd have to agree with you on some points. It's definitely a tough one, but I'm gonna have to agree with you on saying it's better than Pokemon.
It is definitely top of S tier for now.
It
Next
definitely
up,
is.
a show I'm not even sure if Brady has seen, but Sophia the First.
I actually watched Sophia the First. I do have a little sister,
This
so
show
I have
is
seen.
yeek.
Hey man, she became a princess overnight, so
I was a girl in the village doing alright
doing
until I
all right.
became a princess overnight.
Princess
Okay, we're getting
overnight.
copyrighted. We shouldn't sing that. Now, Sophia the
That was
First
fun.
follows a little peasant girl named Sophia, whose mother ends up marrying the king of their nation. The two of them then become royals as she has to settle into the life of being a princess, get along with her siblings, and even enter a royal school for magic. But that's not the main premise of the show. The main premise of the show is a amulet that she gets from the royal vault when first becoming a princess. Now, this amulet is a magical amulet with all sorts of properties and is connected to a movie slash show known as Elena of Avalor. But the main use of this amulet is Disney fanfare, since this amulet allows Sophia to interact with other Disney princesses from the past, similar to how the Avatar state lets Aang interact with avatars from the past, helping her and guiding her towards better decisions, saving the day, or helping her friends.
Let's not even mention the fact she can talk to animals. That's just cool, man.
Now, even though if we were going off of intro alone, this would be at the top of S tier, maybe behind Pokemon, because Pokemon's intro is iconic. This show had a lot of shortcomings. It's not that entertaining if you're not a child because of it having a lot of in the moment story and not really longevity story, apart from practically just the end of the second season. Now, even though I personally love this show and it is actually in the top 10 of my all-time favorite shows, I don't think in terms of quality this show can really score a above a C tier.
Coming from someone who had to watch it because of my little sister, it's not one of those shows I personally would watch on my own. I'll keep it in that C tier with you though.
Like, even though it's not that great of a show, it definitely does not deserve to go in B tier because for what
No,
it was able to entertain anyone.
true, true, true.
Now, this next one might be a little above most of the people watching this age type. I'm not even sure if Brady's old enough to have watched this all the way through, but this is a show from my childhood known as The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh, I grew up with this show. I know this show well. Trust me.
Now, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy follow initially the story of a reaper known as Grim, who eventually stumbles across two children named Billy and Mandy, a very violent little girl and a very stupid little boy, and somehow gets wrapped up into a weird friendship with these two characters, and the entire show was filled with nonsensical bullshit and in all honesty, it's exactly what you'd expect from a very chaotic cartoon. Now,
Yeah.
if anyone's wondering what it's like, imagine Ed, Ed, and Eddie, but with mystical
Ooh,
stuff going
classic.
on. Mandy becoming a chaos god, Billy being so stupid that he makes entities from different dimensions vaporize.
Not to mention pretty much the the little girl who pretty much scaring the absolute crap out of Grimm
She
from
is
season
scary. Do
one,
I need to
episode
remind
one.
you, the one time she smiled in the entire show, the universe ended. She is the embodiment
This is
of being
true.
evil and mean.
This is true. This is true.
Now, this show was an absolute peak in my opinion.
I would agree.
I could put it in A tier. I could put it in B tier.
Oh,
What
I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say it's A tier, man. I'm gonna be honest. It was a good show, especially when I was
I'll put
growing up.
it bottom of A tier, even though it was an incredible show to grow up with. I think if I had to rewatch it as an adult, the fact that there is no present story, it would not be as entertaining anymore, especially due to my personal bias and preference for story-filled shows.
I mean, hey, if you're just wanting to something that you can space out to and watch, absolutely go ahead and watch that.
Oh, hell no.
No, you don't want to space out and watch.
Nah, I'm good. I learned my lesson after rewatching Johnny Bravo. Some things need to stay in the past.
Ah, yes, I need to. I think I should rewatch Johnny Bravo. Then, anyway, let's move on to the next one.
So, regular show. Regular
I'm
show
sorry,
is
but if
just
you
one of
don't
those
know this show,
things.
I'm disappointed. I'm gonna
I
be honest
can't even
here.
start to explain regular show to you. So, if you don't know what it is, just go on Netflix, start watching it. We just got the follow-up series regular show The Lost Records, which fills in a lot of gaps between episodes. It is probably one of the most phenomenal animated shows ever. It targets
Oh, absolutely.
specifically people in their teens and adults with more mature story concepts while still being able to retain the attention of kids with small minor episodes in between that don't really have much relevance and are generally chaotic but are still very fun to watch. Every episode in its own is still somewhat plot driven, but overall the show does have a complete narrative for each season and even an overall show narrative. And personally, I think this show shaped me into the lazy piece of garbage I am today.
I'm curious. Six, would you rather have the death punch or the death block?
The death block.
Gotta go with the death block. Though
Or
you gotta be wearing the clothes and the outfit you have to wear for that
the
technique though.
death jump.
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I
But
think I'd still
why
stick
not
with the
just
death block.
ask for the Death Kwon Do manual instead? Then you get all of them.
True, true. I love the show. I don't think I could put it in S though. I'm gonna
I
be
can't
honest.
put it in S, but I could definitely put it at the top of A. This show was
Oh,
phenomenal.
absolutely.
And especially with this being fresh on my mind with like regular show The Lost Records. I just finished a entire rewatch of regular show to prep for that. So yeah, this is amazing, bro. This show still
Oh,
like
absolutely.
meets my standards to this day. And last but
Alright.
not least, a show Brady just started watching, didn't even finish, disrespectful as all hell, is
I'm
Inazuma
so sorry.
11.
I got a brief summary through a YouTube video, so I have a little bit of an understanding of it.
Are you really? Are you really?
I have a smidgen of an understanding.
So, Inazuma 11 follows the story of a young boy named Endo Mamura. Now, Endo is a soccer player and is the captain of his school's soccer team. But his school soccer team doesn't actually have enough members to play. In fact, we find out they can't really practice because the field is always taken up by another sports team or so on and so forth. But eventually, after meeting another very talented football player, him being the captain and the goalie of the team, eventually reassembles an entire team around the two of them as they go on to start participating in the school tournaments, facing off against other schools, and inevitably gaining superpowers? Now, don't get ahead of yourself thinking that this show is just some more sports jarble with additional things slapped on top of it. This story has a very intrusive list of concepts that it consistently goes over. The power system is sometimes, yes, weird and chaotic, from the main character having a goalie Susano like Sasuke, and the striker of their team, the secondary main character, being able to light balls on fire. Later on in its follow up series, Inazuma 11 Orion, even having them make constructs as big as the sun to block a ball, or a ball turning into a black hole because of how hard it's being kicked, this show is still phenomenal. Now, is this show S tier? No. Is this show A tier? No. But everything from interest to consistency and plot, and even to an entertaining power system, I'd say this show deserves at least a B rank.
I would have to agree, but like from the little bit I've seen, it's still good. It's definitely something I'm gonna try and fully watch when I get the chance.
I'd put it at the bottom of B tier right now, even though like personally for me it's above Max Steel, it's above Monsuno. I can't put it here there just because I know if you had a ranking, you would put it at the bottom. And respecting that, I think it's fair to put it at the bottom. The show's not for everyone, but one thing we can agree with is it's better than Sophia the First.
You know what's better than you know what, anything can be better than any of those shows. Six.
Shino,
Just absolutely, it's Shino.
Shino from Naruto SSS tier.
The quintuplet S tier, yes, absolutely beats all shows.
Now,
You know how Rock Lee had that little like fan not a fan made the little sideshow. I'd love to see one with Sheena. That'd be amazing.
It would be so weird, just Chino trying to make friends and everyone running away from him because of creepy insects. Okay, let's get back on track. So, with that, our 10 rank or top 10 ranking for these shows have been placed in order. Now, for the ranking, in number 1, we have Avatar The Last Airbender. Number 2, Pokemon. Number 3, Regular Show. Number 4, Slugterra. Number 5, Generator Rex. Number 6, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Number 7, Max Steel. Number 8, Monsuno. Number 9, Inazuma 11, and number 10, Sophia the First. Now, even though these have been ranked in an order, this is more of in terms of quality or which you should watch first. But in all honesty, I think there is good reason to watch all of these shows if you haven't yet, or if you have, maybe consider rewatching them in this order because these shows are genuinely incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be working on rewatching Monsuno soon. So
So, with
and
that, our tier list is done. Brady, would you do the honors?
I will. Once again, thank you all for watching this video. I'm so sorry for the absence. I'm gonna try and work on it. But I can't really promise anything right now. I do have a second channel now. It's Unseen Gaming. We'll have a link down in the description. That one's to be just full of just random ass gaming content. Um, if you guys have any suggestions for shows that you guys maybe want us to watch, throw them down in the comment. Um, after all that, leave a like, subscribe, and have a good night.
See ya, nerds. Peace.